I made the Demon Slayer Infinity Castle in Minecraft. And it only took 20 cups of hot chocolate and 150 hours. Here's how I did it. Since I wanted to create what was essentially a demon's blood art, I needed to eat a lot of people. And since I'm a Minecraft YouTuber, the only choice for me are children. Okay, so I'll run you down the process. I wanted the Infinity Castle to be a data pack that had a new dimension that would randomly generate the structures inside. But I also want the dimension to be only made up of those structures. The most promising thing I could find were the structure and jigsaw block. The structure block is an in-game block that would allow you to create your own structures, allowing you to save them and paste them into the world. That is great when pairing with the jigsaw block, which allows you to have segments randomly generated, allowing you to make your own structures like the trial chambers. There's only one problem: the structure block has a 48 block limit in all accesses on Java. There's also a limit on how big you can generate using the jigsaw block without editing the values, and it will then break. There are other options, but none of them were close to what I desired. So I came up with a plan. I'm going to have to make the whole thing by hand. So this is what I've got. I want to build the biggest and more detailed Infinity Castle than anyone in history. Currently the record is 500 by 500 by 500, but what I'm planning on building, it's to be 10,000 by 10,000 by 1,000, without neglecting the important locations inside. Yes, the castle won't necessarily be infinite, but a Minecraft player sprinting travels at around 5.6 blocks per second. Normally a player won't be able to maintain that speed because they'll need to eat. But let's pretend they don't need to eat and can have a straight path from block 0 to 10,000. That's going to take around 1,785 seconds, which is around 29 minutes. But I can guarantee you with the map, it should take at least 5 times as long with all the obstacles. Something like this would never fit in normal Minecraft, so I have to do some coding and build our new dimension. As any good programmer knows, a quality coder is nothing without their thigh highs. Putting them on and we're ready to begin. So I won't go too in depth with everything I've done. So basically I made a new dimension with the max height limit extended so we can have the castle at 1,000 blocks high. I've also stopped normal mobs from spawning naturally. And since it's going to be completely enclosed, I increased the world light limit for better visuals. Alright, time to begin building. To help save time, I'm going to use the help of Axiom, and this is the first time I'm using it, so let's see how I go. Axiom is a great bit of software that allowed me to keep my sanity, and I recommend using it when building. There are going to be 4 types of structures that I'm building. We're going to have the iconic structures. This will be recognizable locations such as Doma's Water Garden or Upper Moon 1's Battle Room, and their meeting spots, and Muzon's Ballsack. The other types are going to be the 100 preset buildings that I'm going to make the rest of the castle up of. Then hopefully rotate them to the side to get the next type, and then upside down to get the last type. Altogether that should give me over 300 types of buildings to work with, making it a visually appealing map. Honestly, I really struggled with coming up with 100 unique designs, having to keep them to the theme of the castle. So I finished all the upright versions. Let's hope I can just rotate them to the side. Okay, why did I think that was going to be that easy? So I had to repair all the sideway buildings and upside down ones. At least I did rotate them. I think the time repairing them took me half the time it took me building all the upright ones. Now, to save them all as blueprints. Now, this is the fun part, to combine them into interesting structures. The reason I'm doing it like this is so I don't have to individually place each building. I'll have around 40 unique structures. I'm going to need to make the floor, roof and walls as well. Honestly, the bigger and more complex the combinations are, the harder it's going to be for people to tell that it's only like 8 combined mega structures just copied and pasted over and over. Just have them rotating now and then and maybe add a few more other structures just to spice it up, making it visually different. So I made the outline with some green blocks to make it easier to follow when pasting them in. I do think 10,000 by 10,000 is maybe a bit too big. I don't think it's necessary. So I cut it down to 5,000 by 5,000 by 1,000. but it is exactly those dimensions, so it does mean the final map is going to be a little bit smaller. Instead of saying 4,988, just round it up to 5,000, it's easier to say that way. Oh, I nearly forgot, I need to build the interesting locations. So, I wanted to build Doma's Garden, the Demon Meeting Place, Muzan's Ballsack, and Upper Moon 1's room. The problem with other places like Akaza's location is it's not really visually different to make, and he runs around the entire map anyway. Now, someone did already make Doma's Garden, and it's actually really cool.
Oh, should we leave it alone? Should we back off? Should we play it safe? Nah, you think let's make it bigger!
And so I took the design and made it bigger. I think that's good enough. Now for Muzan's Ballsack. Yeah, I'm sure that looks fleshy enough. Now Upper Moon 1's room. I want this to be an actual battle room where you can fight, so I hope I made it big enough for people to use all their forms properly. And lastly, the meeting place. Yeah, I think that looks good enough. Now for all the placing in the world. Honestly, this is going to take a lot of time. The reason I don't have a lot of recordings of everything is because this is mind-numbing work, and I just watched Fullmetal Alchemist while I was building. But as you can see, it was move to an area, paste the blueprint, load it, move again, paste it, so on. Now this is going to take a lot of processing for this world editing. Now I do want people to be able to play it without having a fancy computer, so I did spend a lot of time optimizing the map, removing unnecessary blocks poking out, and things. Hopefully removing 50 million blocks should help the performance. Honestly, I do wonder how long it will take for Harasha in the mod to get from one side of the map to the other with no obstacles on the floor. Let's go. Wow, it took under 10 minutes, so it is playable for the event I'm planning. Now, for the finishing touches, adding all the rest of the structures, and we're done. Wow, over 150 hours later, I have finished the map. Honestly, I think I could probably make it smaller. If I had to tell myself, I would have made it around 4,000 by 4,000 by 1,000, maybe even smaller than that. Or something around that, so that it's at least 40% smaller, because it's a great map for the event I'm making, but I don't think the scale is going to really be appreciated. Plus, I'm not sure about this, but I think if I filled up most of the buildings up with blocks, would reduce lag, as I won't have to calculate the space inside it. Or the faces, which could reduce some demand on it. I don't expect too much, maybe about a 20% boost at least. Now, I do plan on using this for the Demon Slayer event, which will be 100 Demon Slayers versus 13 demons. But anyway, here's the trailer for it. Now I do want to host an event, so there will be a final battle in an Infinity Castle, so stick around for that, and if you wanted to join the event, join the Discord for it. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you very soon. See ya.